Yeah, I don't know the lyrics to it, but the melody's just been running through my head for the last 8 weeks, I guess. Simple Man, that was the tune. You got it on DAT someplace.
Well, you just
In your
don't,
collection.
see, you don't know how, my tapes and all went through a basement flood.
Oh, no, I hadn't heard.
Oh, yeah, that happened years ago. And
That's dreadful to hear.
yeah, the archives were they turned into mold.
There's no way to salvage something like that?
Well, it's pretty difficult.
Pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
The technology's not there.
not for basement flood.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean,
basement floods.
it's not like CDs where you can just wash them off.
No,
Get the
tape,
grime off. And,
tape and basement flood don't go too well together.
oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Tape and basement flood. That's right.
No calls.
All right. You got a song for us?
I do. This is the time of the day. Do White House Cafe. It was late in the day as the sun goes down. When the red rose gold afternoon, it paints a southern town. And as I sat sipping at the White House Cafe, my partner Ramondo was recalling the events of the day. On the dump tape that you made for me one time, you can hear Conrad in the background, just barely. Remember he was playing in that, almost in another room. Mon frère, so rare, travelers so there, to pin down was his forte. But he's wrestling now with his own memories, and for all of his skill, he just can't seem to keep them at bay. So what could I say? Oh, what could I say? Oh, but be here and now, be here and now, as I slipped away from that reality. Other thoughts occurred to me. Now see, if I had a harp player, this would be the place for them to come in. You got a set of spoons or something? No? Okay. Accompaniment. That's why I don't like being a solo artist. So what could I say? Oh, what could I say? Oh, but be here and now, be here and now, 'cause it's okay. It was late in the day as the sun goes down, when a red rose gold afternoon, it paints a southern town.
All right.
Thank you.
Do another one.
Well,
just jump on you and make you go right into
Maybe
one.
just go right into
I
nothing.
think, well, look at it as your set. What's the next tune in your set?
Next tune in my set would be Neuroses.
Neuroses.
Neuroses. It's the first song I wrote when I moved to the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
I'd just come down from Boston. I've been living up there for.
You got that Yamaha. It's a white label Yamaha, isn't it? It's a gray label, sort of. Is it basically just beige or white? It's right. It's sitting right on your lap.
Is
your
it
pick
really?
is.
Let's see, that Dunlap headed from me.
Now, is it a gray label or a beige label?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of beigeish label. Kind
Yeah.
of beigeish gray.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's got.
What do you know? What year that?
Yeah, well, it was. I acquired this back in '85.
85.
Okay, so we're looking at 23 years of age.
Yeah.
Had her since she was a puppy.
And I used to have one. It was a red label. It had a red label in it.
Oh, cool.
And you know who liked that was Malcolm Holcomb. He used to. You remember the studio? Well, Malcolm used to come. Malcolm used to come over to the studio, and he would like, let me play that red label Yamaha. He'd be all about, let me play that red label Yamaha. He'd make a deal out of that. You know.
Well, did he? And he left it intact. I've heard some. I've heard some interesting stories about him using other people's guitars and not having them come back to their owner and the condition that they went out in.
No. He was compared to what I've seen him do on a lot of guitars. No, he was very kind to my guitar.
Well, that's very good.
He liked my guitar, so he was always very kind to it.
Yeah, well, that's good. He's got a nice guitar now.
Does he?
Yeah. I've been adrift on the neuroses, there was nothing inside of me. It's when they blew me serendipity to sleep, but there was no star to guide me. Now I'm making my way home back to the shore, not going to drift out here alone anymore. I'm gonna find out what life holds in store for me. For the people that I see and wonder what moves them inside. Is it the spirit of a waxing moon that makes them change like the tides? Or is it God in her heaven who longs for them to know the things that they pray? To know her peace today, that's cool. To know her peace today, yeah. I've been adrift on the neuroses, there was nothing inside of me. It's when they blew me serendipity to sleep, but there was no star to guide me. Now I'm making my way home back to the shore, I'm not going to drift out here alone anymore. I'm gonna find out what life holds in store. I'm gonna find out what life holds in store. Yeah, single artists, keep it brief. You got big bottom, then you can do something else with it. Yeah, first song I wrote when I got here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, also one of the better tunes that came out on that tape that
Uh-huh.
we made. Had that. Whatever it was we did.
Mhm.
But that you added to the.
It worked out.
It worked
I
out.
thought it sounded real good.
Yeah, it did. It sounded real good.
I remember.
It just happened to be a fluky lick we were playing with, listening to the demo.
Mhm. Well, a lot of times you get some of your best stuff that way, you know.
I think it comes spontaneously.
Mhm.
Yeah, or serendipitously.
Yeah. Well, that's the way I was producing back in those days. Is I was I say I'm still making some adjustments here,
All right, keep on.
but that's the way I was let's see. That's the way. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's the way I was producing back in those days.
Okay, well,
Was that I would count on somebody to come in with a prepared song.
Sure.
I always want whoever's coming in to record to be prepared. Don't want someone to come in and figure the song out in the studio.
oh no, that's
I
right.
want to be prepared, and but then at the same time, I hope to embellish something while they're in the studio to find to begin with, to take the prepared material that they have and to present it in its best light.
You've got parameters when they come in, defined by the song, but then it can build on those. You know, and the opportunity at that time will lend itself somehow to
Yeah. So then,
something different or bigger or better.
right.
Yeah.
So then I'm looking at my
You're watching all the.
I'm looking at my.
We haven't had a phone call here in the last half hour.
I think
now.
you need to give out the note. Now let's see what we're discussing here. The discussion is our aspect ratio, the format of the TV screen.
That's correct.
Now we're watching right now. We're running this in here. I'll swap it to the other camera because it might be more noticeable on the other camera even. The aspect ratio that we're running right now is the 9 to 16 ratio, and as of a couple of weeks ago, everything was run on the 3 to 4 ratio, and so this is the one that's more appropriate to the widescreen TVs that everybody has out there. I just decided that, well, maybe more people were watching on widescreens than old time type screens nowadays that had cable. So
Is this screen that you're using as a monitor here? Is that a?
that's old. That's the old format.
That's the old format.
All the monitors in the studio are the old format. So I'm thinking that we need to get some. A grant or something. That's what I was talking about. Jonathan, that you were talking to, he's in the front office.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and that's why I was saying get a grant, because right off the bat, if I'm going to be running this format, see, I got this right here. I brought this little monitor in, and it's
that's what it looks. That's what it looks like on the widescreen.
yeah, that's it on the
So I
widescreen.
can just go from there to there.
See what I mean? So that's us on a widescreen. I think we look a lot better on a widescreen. What do you
That
think?
way it looks like. Oh, I need that.
See that?
Yeah, I do. I do.
I think we're much better on the widescreen.
Yeah, well,
So
yeah, it looks good. Yeah, it's a lot better. You're right.
so I wanted.
But the table still looks real narrow. It looked like a bigger table last time I was here for some.
Well, I had it. If I would tilt it down a little bit, I'd get more of the table.
Oh, is that the deal?
Yeah, so I could tilt the camera down a little more, and I'd get more of the table.
Well, you've also had, I guess. Maybe
But if
that's
you'll look
part
at
of what
this-
the deal is because you've had more people around the table and you've tried to
Right, and if you'll look
get
at
more
this,
into the scene.
if you'll look at this table, this is not a large table.
No, it's not.
It's
It's
a-
what, 5 foot by 2.5?
Is it even 5? I'd say 4.
Yeah, when I run out to try and get my table.
4. I'd say more like 4 by 2.
No, it's 5, John. It's not 4. I'm pretty sure that's 5 foot.
That's about a foot right there. It's about
No, this is a foot right here.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I think that I can. I think that I can solve this problem.
I've got a tape out in the
This-
car. I'll run and get it.
I've got it in my pocket.
Oh, you got my tape in your pocket?
No, I've got my tape in my
Okay,
pocket.
well, that's different.
I say, I've got so much stuff in my pocket. Who would know? There's the tape.
Oh, there you go.
let's see how wide it is first. You say 2.5, you might be right.
It's right at 30 inches, 29 and a half, so I missed it by half.
That's more than 2.5, right?
No, 24 and 6 is 30.
Okay.
Namaste, URTV. All right, well, thank you very much. And do you have a preference about the format in which we were arguing? Missed it by an inch. Sorry, I apologize. I'm John's pointing things to me and or showing me things.
Oh,
on the tape.
excuses.
All right, so was it? All right, say it again. Don't say it again. $5 feet and 5 feet 6 inches. Now, okay, well, 5 foot was actually the closer mark. It was 59 inches on the length and just under a half inch shy of 2.5 feet. 29 and a half inches on the width. Okay. Does the table look any fatter or any narrower to you? Does it look like it's like 6 foot long or 2 feet wide? Because yes? Well, I'm not sure. The aspect ratio is different, so how's he supposed to know?
What kind of TV is he watching?
What are you watching it on? On a regular TV.
Regular? Okay. That'll make it look smaller.
Should make it look smaller.
Skinnier.
Yeah. It should make it look skinnier, longer.
Well,
And on a regular TV, we should look taller and thinner. Of course, we're old and fat, so maybe we won't. Or I'm old and fat. I won't speak for John.
I'm older and fatter, I think.
I don't know. We can bet on that if you want.
Well, I know I'm
Or
fatter.
take polls on that. If you want to call in and just decide
So
who
what
might
did
be
he
the
vote
oldest.
on? What did-
So, do you like the newer format or the older format? He guesses the newer one on his older television. So we'll put it down there as
Okay.
a vote for the newer one
New
on the
or
older
old?
television.
Okay.
Maybe we should make another category. For the newer format on the older TVs. Okay, well, maybe not. Thank you very much. Are you having a good day? All right, enjoy yourself. Namaste.
Come in. That was supposed to be left open. Come on in.
Hey,
Hey, come on, drag up a chair right over here.
I will.
Drag it way up so you'll be in. Oh, good. Now I have somebody on. Now talk to me.
That's right.
Where's the
Talk.
microphone? Oh, it's over here.
It's right there. Yeah.
Yeah, talk.
I'm talking to you. Can you hear me well?
Now talk again.
Talk
Some more. What do I
Please.
talk about?
Who would you be? Namaste.
You are TV Media Fest. I'm Marsha.
Marsha, namaste. Namaste
to meet
about.
you.
This is John. I guess you know John.
Mm-hmm. I do.
There you go.
Well, all right.
So talk some more so he can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody's been on that side using that mic.
That's right.
Oh, really?
Mhm. And I'm making-
Move a little this way.
Yeah, I'm
Better?
making new adjustments.
Oh, what you got there?
I got an automatic mixer.
Nice. So you're doing it all new today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
You think you did?
Yeah.
So should we
I think it'd be really good for your special
Are you voting?
effects. Yeah, I guess I'm voting again. I don't
You
know if my
necessarily
first
have
one
to call
counted.
them. Namaste. Hello. She would look good in any format, Marsha. You would look good in any format.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know what camera I'm
There
on.
you go. So we should. Is that a yes vote for this one? Go with the new format. All right, that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. Namaste.
Was that Jonathan again?
I don't know. Maybe the same voice over and over again.
Sneaker phone calls.
I'm thinking it's Jonathan again. What do you think? Yeah. No, it wasn't. He said, not Jonathan. Okay.
It was
What
the
you got?
alter
You
ego.
you brought us something. This is a new creation of yours?
Well, it's actually a creation from Jonathan out there.
All right. This is the new thing, huh?
Yeah.
Well, shall we roll it now?
Thought it might work if you want to roll it. It's got a story to it, or you could play it in your background.
Well, I'll
It
just
looked good either way.
I'll just do the whole thing as this is the
World premiere.
this is the world premiere of it. So let's just do it. We're just gonna world premiere this thing.
All right. I can't promise you. I don't know exactly how long it is. It's not that long though.
Oh, it'll be just whatever it is. It'll be just fine.
Be entertaining. Get a little coffee.
Listen to this.
Sounds like we're outside.
Maybe. But you're not. It may look like you're outside too. No, it's just
Hear that.
blue screen.
Now, if I'd had this last night, I could have put it in the 420 roll when I made it last night.
Ah. So is this an advertisement for a new show?
It is, I think. No,
It's not.
we're just going to find out.
It's a surprise.
This is a surprise, okay?
All
We're going
right.
to bring down our mic.
Hello, my name is George and I am a cicada, and I am here to tell you about me and some of my friends. Here you can see me when I first came out of my shell. I am very white. I will look very different in the morning. I will be very dark with bright red eyes. But now I am just very tired from coming out of my shell, and I am still just a little bit white. And you can see my wings fully. Now they have the spotlight on me. And you can see much better now that I have full wings. And I am very pink because I am like a newborn baby bug. Here I am holding on very tight to my shell so I do not fall off and get eaten by frogs or lizards. So I'm going to tell you about some of my friends. You can see I'm a very gross looking bug. Many people do not like me because I am a scary bug. Are you a scary bug too?
Starting to feel like the beginning of a horror movie.
Oh, it is. He is scared. He was very nice to us. He just filmed us and left us alone. But I think he was scared of us. We are scary bugs. Here you can see the empty shell of what I used to look like. It is amazing to think that my big body with my big, wonderful, beautiful wings used to fit in that tiny empty shell. It was a crazy shell. And finally I decided I wanted wings. So you can see the hole of where I came out the top of my own head. It was very weird. It felt much like having on a pair of clothes or a shirt or a pair of jeans that were too tight. And you had to bust out of the seams. Here you can see a friend of mine. I think his name was Pablo. And Pablo is a friend of mine. He is another cicada. He is holding on very tight. You can see he is still white too and pink a little because he just came out of his shell. And this is Jorge. Jorge is friends with Dora the Explorer. But do not tell her that I told you that. Jorge is also holding on for dear life. So he is not eaten. Oh, and here, this is little Javier. Javier is just coming out. It takes a long time for us to come out of our shells. Oftentimes it may take up to 2 to 4 hours to come out of the shell. Here you can see Javier talking to his mother, Maria. Maria is encouraging him to come out of his shell. He is trying very hard. As you can see, there are many of us on this door. Why we like this door, we do not know. But many of my friends all went towards the door, and they climbed up the door, and they held on for dear life and tried to come out of their shell on the door. I think that they think this door is a tree. But this door is not a tree, it is a door. Here, this is little Jose. Jose is climbing the door because he thinks it's a tree. Soon he will sprout out of his shell too, and have big beautiful wings in which he can fly around and make loud noises. I don't know who that is. He's not a friend of mine. Oh, there is little Javier again. Javier and Maria, they are good friends of mine, yes. And now if the cameraman would get little Javier in focus, we could, there we go, that's very good. So here again is another clip of Javier. Apparently he really likes Javier, and he keeps filming Javier. And he films him out of focus. The cameraman should put the camera in focus. Oh, Javier is shaking a little. Maybe he is scared of the camera. I do not know if he is scared of the camera or if he is scared of his new wings. It is scary being a cicada sometimes. You can see the little baby wings when we first come out. They are like little baby wings. And they are the white and orange things by the right and left side of our heads. They are very little and squished up when we first come out. Here you can see many of the people well, they are not people. They are actually cicadas. Here you can see many of the cicadas have come to this door to grow. And there is little Javier. He is finally out. He is hanging by a thread. Or maybe some feet. Ah, yes. Here is Hector. And this is Hector's brother, Julio. He is also coming out. So these are just some short clips of different members of my friends and what they do while they are coming out of their shell. You have probably seen us a lot since then. We are I have many friends, and you have probably seen us in your yard or trees or driveway. Here is Julio again, trying to get out of his shell. He is shaking a little. He is scared. Here you can see Jonathan is putting the light on Julio, so you may see him better. And you can see his baby wings. Here is the next morning. Afterwards, there's only shells around. Here is my shell. And you can see it is still holding on very tightly to the wood. And you can see where I came out of. You can see inside my old body. Ooh, that's gross. That is very gross. I don't know why he would film these things. And here I am in the morning. I am a bug. What are you looking at? You should put me in focus. I am a fully grown cicada, and I will chirp at you very loudly and flop around on the floor or on the ground. Here is another shell. I think this was Pablo's shell. He is a very good friend of mine. We hang out on a regular basis. More shells. You can see in the morning what we used to look like and where we used to come from. It's a pretty gross empty shell. It's gross. Ah, there is Pablo. Pablo is free. Pablo is staring at you. Oh, the cameraman was scared. Pablo stared him down. He has a very powerful stare. Ah, and there is Hector. Hector, good to see you, man. I'm glad you made it out okay. Oh, Hector gets a close-up too. He is a very special bug. And there is Hector's shell. He had to come out. It took him 3 hours. And here you can see on the door all of the cicadas who sprouted at the nighttime. They are out in the day now, and they are very dark. And some are still hanging on for dear life. So this concludes the portion where I will introduce you to my friends. And now we will watch an actual sprouting in progress. This footage is sped up and actually took 3 hours to film just this part. But we have sped up the tape so you may watch it in only a few short moments. Here you can see Javier is trying to come out, and Maria is already out, and another bug. I do not know who that one is at the top in the middle. I do not know him. He's not a friend of mine. He has come over and is distracting Javier from trying to get out. You will see Javier is wiggling, trying to get out. And someday he will get out, and he will be a full cicada with beautiful wings. You can see his little wings by his head. They are little and orange. We like to come out at nighttime, and this is how we come out of the ground and out of our shells, because it takes a very long time. It appears as though Javier has fallen asleep on the job. Come on, Javier, you are almost there. Come on, buddy. You can do it. Javier has begun to move, and soon he will be out. Now we have Javier fully out of his shell, and you can watch his wings as they get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Again, remember, this took about 2 hours for his wings to fully grow. but we have sped up the tape so that you may watch it. At this point in time, on behalf of all my cicada friends, I would like to thank Jonathan for filming us and showing that we are not scary evil bugs that we have to come out to. And oh, this is Hector. Hector is coming out. And again, this takes about 2 hours for it to fully happen, but we have sped up the tape so you may watch it. And the flashlight ran out of batteries. Hector grew pretty fast. Well, not really, we just sped up the tape. Again, you can see Hector must take a rest because it is very tiring to grow out of a shell. How long we must watch Hector later, I do not know. The cameraman should have sped this up a little more. But you can see Hector's wings growing now too, as they start to dry out and spread. Oh, he is twitching now. He is twitching. I think he is starting to wake up. Yes, he's beginning to wake up, and his wings are still growing. He's getting bigger. Wake up, Hector. Help us wake him up. It is okay, you can say, wake up, Hector. Wake up. Wake up, Hector. Wake up. Ah, he's awake now. Thank you for helping us wake Hector up. And you can see his wings are not quite right yet. And they are growing and growing and growing. And he moved out of the camera frame. He should not have done that. Oh, but look at the wings are growing and getting bigger. Again, this took about 2 hours to happen. And you can see he is white and pink when he first comes out. And his wings must grow. Now you can see his outer wings have grown, but the two under wings are growing now. You can see them getting bigger. There are two wings under the large wings also that are getting bigger. Because we actually have 4 wings, and these are the 2 on the bottom. Hector is a good friend of mine. He is hanging on for dear life right now. And sometimes we go to the beach together. And Hector's favorite food is wood. He likes wood. And sometimes leaf. But we always catch him eating wood. In fact, his nickname is Hector, the wood-eating cicada. And here we have gone now to the time-lapse, where we have the 2 cicadas. The one on the right is... I don't know his name either. I don't know either of these bugs, actually. They are strange bugs to me. But the one on the right, you will see him come out of his shell all the way from the beginning. He is wiggling now, and he's trying to get out. And now we have light. And now you see he's coming out of the top. Oh, that is so gross. He's all slimy and pink and white. And here now you can see him falling backwards on his little baby wings. The wings are starting to spread a little. And they're coming out. You can see him crawling around, and you can see his wings grow fully out. And the other one never comes out. He is scared. He's saying, "Look at me, dude, I have new wings." He says, "I'm trying to come out, I'm trying to come out." He says, "Look, look, look, I have wings, I have wings." Oh, and now we are back to the original guy. And I think now we are going to watch him throughout the night. This was filmed over a period of 9 hours. And you can see he is already starting to turn dark. And his body and his head are getting darker and darker and darker. And darker and darker and darker and darker. And as it starts to become morning, he is very dark now. You can see many little spiders crawling around him. That is also gross. We don't know anything about the baby spiders. I don't think they are associated with us. And here now you can see him. He is fully black. His head is fully black. His body is black and brown striped, and his wings have turned to like a brownish orange, where he used to be very white and pink. And of course, he has very bright red eyes. Now you can see the sun is starting to come up. And the sunrise is happening, and his shadow is gone, and he is a full cicada.
We never did get the wee wall machine going.
We're gonna check out the wee
The
wall.
wee wall machine?
The wee wall machine. Yeah, I had a wee wall machine, but I never really hooked it up. So there we are.
What is a wee wall machine?
Wee wall machine. Well, it's sitting around you somewhere. It says Loft Tech on it. See if you see it. There it is. Here, you give that to. Okay. Okay, I got something else for you to see now. Okay, we got 420 number 15 here. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. Okay. And I want you to be sure and check this one out. I want you to. I got some good songs on here. I want you to see this one. Okay. Okay.
Check it out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Check it out. Check it out. Uh-huh. All right, let's see what's going on here. Anytime now. That's what I say. Yes, okay.
420 reel, right?
Roll.
Roll, 420 roll. Okay, good.
Good morning. Welcome to the Pleasure Saucer.
Always Cry Theater at Crowded 5.
Watch The Casey Waters Show, Sunday nights, 9 p.m. on URTV. To get interesting, eccentric, philosophical presentations and artwork by Judson Laird, which is manipulated using interesting graphic art techniques. You're watching the 420 roll.